One of the great things about gaming is that it's approachable for people of all ages, and Dungeons & Dragons and other role-playing games are no exception. I'm here with Max Raabe, who is our resident expert from Deadly Penguin Games, and he is going to talk with us a little bit about how to teach the youngers how to play role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons. So, do you have any tips and tactics for grabbing maybe somebody who isn't as vivacious and verbose and outgoing and try to bring those people more into a game?
Have something for them to do when it's not their turn. On all the character sheets that I make for the kids, everything I design, I always have a big old block that says, like, draw your character here. Something so that they can be active and expressing themselves even when it's not their turn and such. And then yes, if you turn to somebody who doesn't really want to come out of their shell or doesn't really know what to do, questions are absolutely the best way of doing that. Because you can be like, hey, are you interested in saving this kitten from the tree? How would you like to go about doing that? You can give options and ask questions, and then that will prompt them to start thinking on their own, and they'll start coming up with their own ideas and their own experimentations.
D&D can sometimes have some concepts that are a little bit more adult. Do you ever find that you need to change some of that and some of the way that the game uses those powers and abilities to make things a little bit more PG rated or even G rated for really young audiences?
Absolutely. Constructs, elementals, and like robots, those are some of your best friends, because we can break those all you want all day, and people don't generally have too much of an emotional connection to it, especially if you make them as generic as possible. If you do have like a animal or something in the situation, change the language of what happens to them and such. They get knocked down, they get scratched, they get bruised, they get knocked unconscious. Not stabbed, eviscerated, or exploded.
When I'm playing with my kids, I generally find that they have a rather shorter attention span than some of my friends who can go for 4 or 5 hours. What in your experience is about like the perfect length of a game for younger kids?
I find between 1.5 to 2 hours is a pretty perfect time. If you're gonna go any longer than that, I would definitely suggest you break it up every hour or so with some sort of physical activity. And you can even tie that into the game. You can have them sneak by, like everyone gets down and crouch and crawls through the front room as we're sneaking past the guards, or
brilliant.
runs around and does exercise, like train their abilities or something.
My kids, they would do whatever they could to find props.
Oh, props.
They would run around and find props.
Even if it's just like a picture of something that they can pull out from a book, or if you have a picture of a magic item that they can hold on to or something, and then you can tie it into that kind of physical activity. You could make something like maybe they have to rescue the kittens. They have to go in a room, you hide their stuffed animals around the room for a little bit, and then they have to come back and rescue them all or find them. But the story is the key. For kids, that they don't care about getting a +1 on things for the most part. They care about being able to concede at what they want to do.
Where can people find you?
If they want to find me, they can check out deadlypenguingames.com.